Some people ask me, Cody, why are you the way that you are? Well, if you drink toilet bowl cleaner from a cup that's covered in snakeskin, you turn out like me. I have been trying to build that vehicle there for about 10 years now. It's taking a long time and I keep getting distracted. So I have a 72 Hilux that's buried way back in the corner of the shop. There's tons of stuff piled on it. And I have a 1UZ, a big V8 going in this tiny little truck. The truck is literally about this wide, but the engine is literally this wide. So we're gonna have to kind of mash those two together and we gotta make it work. Let's go do that. First things first, we gotta unbury this. So we're gonna roll into a time lapse of getting all the crap out of there and we're gonna see where it's at. Okay, halfway through organizing your shop, you're like, I don't have a place to put any of this stuff, including extension cords. They just keep moving all over the place. There's no place they actually belong. And that's one thing that I've learned to do when you're organizing your shop. It just needs a place to belong, and then it'll always go back there. If you don't like it, you can change it later, but just create a place for everything to belong and you'll be happy. I've got some scrap pieces of metal here. Using all these scrap pieces that I found around the shop, I'm gonna weld it all together and then I'm gonna make a rack to hang all my extension cords because they need to belong somewhere, because they need to be hung up so they're out of the way. So I quit walking on them and I quit moving them around because that's freaking annoying. The design is simple. You take these rods, you weld them on there, and then you hang your extension cord on it. There we have it. Ta-da! A little bit of knowledge on how to stick some metal together. All my extension cords have a place to belong. First thing we gotta do is put this motor in this truck, which is a lot of work. Cab's coming off, mount the motor on there, build some motor mounts, probably connect the transmission and put that in there so that we can cut out all the cab around it so that we can make sure that everything's gonna fit. Rebuild it all, put it back together, and then, well, bam, we're gonna have a pretty cool, epic ride. All right, hot tip for your electrical stuff. Come here, come, look at this. You see this? That's called corrosion. It's no good for the electricalness. So what you do, you take toilet bowl cleaner and you take something that holds this. Now this is a cup. I used to hydro dip stuff and I have no other use for this thing other than fill it full of toilet bowl cleaner. The reason you use toilet bowl cleaner, full of hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid cleans stuff. So we stick this in here. Generally, you let it sit for a minute. We'll pull it out and we'll see what it looks like. Been in here for about a minute. Wow, come look at that. Look how clean that is. Take a little bit of brake clean. Good as new. It's fresh. Now you do have to be careful with some of it. Sometimes electronics have certain coatings on it. You don't want to do that because you don't want to remove the coating. But generally on automotive electronics, hydrochloric acid goes a long way. We got a new guy here. His name is Miguel, and he's gonna learn how to be a YouTuber.
Trying to.
So far, we've got the motor in here, kind of figured out where I think it's supposed to sit and where it's gonna be good. So we're gonna cut to Miguel telling you about that, because he's learning how to talk to a camera, and it's very entertaining. All right, what have we figured out so far?
A lot, but, measurements, a little bit. Used to be, because the motor with leaving room for the, I forget what else I was gonna say.
You were doing so good. Okay, so we got the motor sitting where we want it to be, engine mounts. We've kind of got that figured out with all our measuring tapes and what we assume is gonna be correct. Lining it up with the cab and the firewall and where the radiator goes and all that jazz. You can literally put it wherever you want. Kind of just have to pick a place where you're gonna put it, figure everything else after that. That's kind of the plan there. Next up, we're gonna put the transmission on. We're gonna figure out all the bracing for that, where that needs to go. Once we've done that, then we can maybe put the exhaust on, which is gonna be a lot of episodes, because exhaust is a lot of angles and cutting and welding and all sorts of work there. And then we can figure out how the cab goes on and what we need to cut in the firewall and the fender wells, and then how do we put a radiator in the front, because it's all really big engine, but it's kind of small. I don't know if that's gonna work. We might just have to put it in the box in the back, trophy truck style, do something cool there. There's literally 1,000 things you can do. Come along on the journey. We're gonna get it done eventually. It's gonna be fun. Thanks for watching this episode. We'll see you on the next one.